If AJ doesn't knock him out in the first round, in the second round, then he didn't really win the fight, even if he ultimately does win the fight on the scorecards. Do you feel that sort of pressure to not just win, Anthony, but also knock Jake Paul out?
Yeah, I understand. I really understand where they're coming from. I understand. I get it. I know the expectations and demands these fans have, and I respect it. If I didn't respect it, I'll be honest with you and say, nah, they're talking rubbish. But I do get it, because I hold myself in that same regard. So I need to do it. And that's my intention, to seek and destroy.
My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for.
He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round.
Anthony Joshua has issued a fierce warning ahead of his fight with Jake Paul. He doesn't just plan to win. He intends to destroy Jake in the very first round. Joshua emphasizes that he won't hold back for even a second. His strategy is simple: start fast, apply heavy pressure, and end the fight as quickly as possible. He wants the world to see the massive difference in power, skill, and experience immediately when the bell rings.
Start saying this. Is there any clause that says you need to go easy on Jake Paul?
Honestly, I haven't seen that part, but no, there's no clause. I heard that he fought Mike Tyson in 14-ounce gloves. I heard that he was going to fight Javante in 12-ounce gloves, and then he chose to fight me in 10-ounce gloves. So there's no part. He wants to go easy. Then I think he wants to hurt me.
Michael Bisping has shared his thoughts on the upcoming Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul clash, highlighting the obvious physical and skill gap between the two. He insists that Jake Paul is nowhere near prepared to absorb the kind of power Joshua delivers. Bisping points to Joshua's past battles with elite heavy hitters like Francis Ngannou, emphasizing how destructive Joshua's punches can be. In his view, the mismatch in strength, resume, and experience could make the fight extremely one-sided.
Goes up against Anthony Joshua and gets flatlined. Every single punch that was thrown was landed, and every punch that landed put Francis Ngannou down, okay? So to stand there and think that Jake Paul, who's much, much smaller, who has way less experience, that doesn't weigh anything near him, is gonna have a chance, and not to mention the technical abilities. Let's just talk about that. Not to mention the technical abilities or experience. We're talking about an Olympic gold medalist, remember, from back in the day, who's then gone on to become a true British boxing icon, or a worldwide boxing icon, let's be honest, right? There's no way that he loses to Jake Paul.
Derek Chisora offers a completely different perspective. For him, the fight isn't about legacy, skill comparison, or even true competition. Instead, he believes the entire event is fueled by business motives. Chisora argues that fans shouldn't treat the matchup as a career-defining showdown, but rather as entertainment crafted for financial gain and attention. In his eyes, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is less about sport and more about a strategic commercial move benefiting everyone involved.
When we look at AJ against Jake Paul, what sort of gulf do you expect to see?
Listen, we are in the game of entertainment. Either entertainment in the ring or on the football pitch, it don't matter. It's called entertainment. People are going to buy tickets to go watch Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight. You know, we're all entertainers, either way. So I'm happy. I'm so happy for AJ because he's doing this for himself. And you have to understand, you have to give so much respect to Jake Paul. You know, whatever he says, he makes it happen. You know, before he was like he wants to fight Anthony Joshua and people were laughing at him. And then suddenly it's happened and people are like, wow, what's going on here? You know, so kudos to that kid, man. He's very good at promoting everything he does.
Derek, do you reckon there's a bit of jealousy from other boxers and even like pundits flying around as well? Because even since it's been announced last night and today...
I know the biggest jealousy pundit you guys have, and that is Simon Jordan. I'm telling you right now, Simon Jordan right now, he must be suffering inside.
Eddie Hearn steps in with a balanced and realistic analysis. While many fans anticipate a dramatic first-round knockout from Joshua, Hearn reminds everyone that boxing rarely follows fan-made predictions. He explains that although Joshua is far more experienced, fights can change instantly when an opponent starts moving, defending, or surviving early pressure. If Jake Paul manages to stay active and avoid early danger, the fight could spill into the second or even third round, and that shouldn't be viewed as a failure. Hearn's main message is to avoid putting unnecessary pressure on Joshua by demanding a one-round finish, as such expectations can distract a fighter from staying composed and disciplined.
So many people can't speak. Yeah, but it's obviously scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. One, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. Two, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads of rounds.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
No, absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round, he should be ashamed of himself. Like, Brian, give us 2, like, or 3. Because if Jake does move, he can look after himself. It's not like he's just going to get one shot round the arm and...
KSI, known for his rivalry with Jake Paul and his own rise in boxing, adds more intensity to the discussion. He revealed that he personally messaged Joshua with a straightforward demand: do not let the fight last 8 rounds under any circumstances. According to KSI, if the bout goes that long, Joshua would fall short of the standard expected from a world-class heavyweight facing someone with Jake's level of experience. In his view, the pressure on Joshua is enormous, not just because of the size and skill difference, but because fans around the world are scrutinizing every comparison between the two.
Is Jake Paul happening? What's happening with that?
I couldn't give 2 Fs about Jake. Do not care. I can't wait to see Jake Paul get absolutely starched by AJ. I messaged AJ and I said, brother, if this guy is able to get out that ring within 8 rounds, you haven't done your job good.
Did he reply?
You haven't done your job well. Yes. Yeah, I talked to AJ, bro. He said he's going to do a madness, yeah.
Would you get in the ring with Anthony Joshua?
No. Yeah, he's stupid. He's an idiot. He loves the fame and he loves the money. So ultimately, if you're just that money hungry and that fame hungry, you're going to just do whatever. You don't care what it is. So getting in the ring with AJ, he's there like in his head probably thinks, yeah, you know what? I've got this. Also, I'm going to get a load of money and I'm going to get a load of fame from this. But is it really worth
Barry
it?
McGuigan, a respected former world champion, brings a more serious tone to the conversation. With decades of experience witnessing the brutal reality of heavyweight power, McGuigan expresses concern rather than excitement. Imagining Jake Paul standing across from Anthony Joshua, he warns of the dangers that casual viewers might overlook. Having watched devastating punchers throughout his career, McGuigan believes this matchup carries a level of risk that outsiders don't fully understand.
You know, for those last 2 fights, that it is more difficult than he thought to boil himself down to 147. So it may be better for him to concentrate at 150, 154. But then you got Ortiz, you got Boots Ennis, and you got Brian Norman Jr. all in the 154-pound category. So it's a tough division. So it wouldn't at all surprise me if he's unable to win a world title because the opposition is good. But maybe if he boiled down to 147 again, he would have a better chance.
Last thing I want to ask you about, Barry, is the big news regarding Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. One of the biggest quotes, 2 of the quotes that stuck out to me was that David Hayes said it could be, that fight could be Jake Paul's last day on earth. And I think Gareth A. Davis has described it as a freak show. Some people are saying, you know, AJ's grabbing the bag. There's nothing wrong with that because anybody else, if they got offered that kind of money, they would do it. So, and some people are suggesting it might damage his legacy. Where do you sit with the decision of him taking that fight? And it's a professional 8-round fight as well.
Yes, it's a highly dangerous fight for Jake Paul. I don't know what he's doing unless they have done some sort of caveat or some sort of agreement that he says he's going to go easy on him or he's not going to go flat out.
Another angle in the discussion centers on how this fight could reshape Joshua's public image. Some commentators believe that if Joshua delivers a dominant, explosive performance, he could regain the aura he once had earlier in his career. They even suggest that he could move closer to the kind of larger-than-life public presence Muhammad Ali held, not in terms of ability or legacy, but in global attention and star power. A decisive victory, they argue, would remind fans that Joshua still has the charisma and magnetism that once made him one of the biggest attractions in heavyweight boxing.